Okay, hello? Let's try this again. Because I don't know how, but it was like dual streaming on Twitch and on YouTube, and my computer did not like that. So I think, okay, now this looks right. Okay, so I think we're actually for real good this time. I think so. See? This is what happens when I try something new. Tried Twitch this week and then all of a sudden it was dual streaming. Okay, but I think we're here. I think we're good to go. Okay, good. Hi Tarot Gothis. Thanks for being here. That was crazy. At that first one I started like dual streaming. I don't know if I still am either. So if somebody can tell me, that would be great. But my computer sounds better because that was the other thing. My computer sounded like it was gonna lose its mind. Hi, Justin. Just thanks for being here. Welcome in. I think we got it. I think we got it fixed now. Hopefully. I've got too technical today. Well, I went live on Twitch on Wednesday, and that was actually a lot of fun cuz I know a lot of you were there, but it was all I was doing was just showing you my process, and so that was fun. I really appreciate that. Just super appreciate it. So thank you. I know there's other people streaming and live right now, but one of the things I wanted to talk about today, and I needed to hurry up and get on here, is because today is the new moon. Hi, Judy. Thanks for being here. Yeah, that's what happened. I went live and it was like all of a sudden like dual streaming. Hi, cousin B. Thanks for being here. Yeah, it was dual streaming there for a minute and it freaked me out and I didn't know what was happening. So I had to shut it all down and make sure it was set up right again. Well, because I was so happy to be able to get Twitch to work on Wednesday that, yeah, then needed to like reset it up for just YouTube. OBS, OBS. All right, let's see. Should we start our list? Well, first, how is everybody? How was your week this week? Everybody good? I hope so. Yeah, I thought I did, cousin B. It looked like it was two places that it was like dual output two different places. Cause I clicked the one that I had like in the center of the OBS console, but there was another one like in the properties like with the stream key. I don't know. All I know is right now I'm hopefully just on YouTube. Like I just tried Twitch. So we not gonna go from just trying Twitch to then dual streaming. Cause that's craziness. And my computer did not like it. It sounded like my computer was about to take off. Yes. Oh no. That's no good, Judy. But yeah, so I know other people are on live. And usually I wait, but we are right now in the peak energy of the new moon. And so I wanted to make sure that we could capture all of this energy. So I wanted to talk about that today. I also wanted to make sure to talk about Chiron. We can also do, like, we might not do these things in this order, but I also want to do give you all an opportunity to ask questions from Twitch. What did you think about that? I think most of you were here for that. I liked it because it, like, that's what I usually am doing over here by myself. So it was kind of fun being able to share it with you all. But it was like that silent stream. Well, we had music, but it wasn't me talking like I do here. So what did you think? Okay, good. I'm glad, Judy. Okay, good. I really liked it. I liked it because it was so different than like what we do when I come on YouTube. Because here, like, this is more of like discussion and like learning and teaching. Um, and I wanted something a little bit different. I liked it. All right, what else? Anybody got numbers or anything that they want to make sure are on this list for today? There is some big things brewing. Just big energy. I don't know if you all can feel it, but there's really big energy right now and a lot coming in. Oh, remind me, Judy. So then we can do that birthday chart because I ran it, but I don't have it to be able to like put it into our screen. So just remind me. We can maybe do it tomorrow. I'll put that over here for tomorrow. Hi, Cinnamon Jupiter. Thanks for being here. Happy new moon to you. So I'm gonna put over here, Judy, Saturday. Um, Wallaholics B-Day chart. Yeah, because I can pull that. I can pull that out because I already ran it. What else? Anybody got birthdays, numbers, phrases, songs, anything you want to talk about? Um, there was something else I wanted to talk about. No, I don't remember. New moon, Chiron. Oh, yeah, I wanted to do more on the US chart. I wanted to do the axes. Hi, Josh. Thanks for being here. Oh, yeah. I thought so, Judy. And now I'm glad that I can actually see them in the chat. You figured out how to make sure I could see them. But we're going to look at the zodiac axes on the US chart today. Axes. There we go. Oh, like, wait. Palindromes? We've done a couple of palindromes. Hopefully that I'm seeing it right. My eyes aren't very good. But yeah, we've talked about some palindromes and in numerology. But if there's a particular palindrome you want to look at, we could certainly do that. Okay, let me get Judy's numbers in here, and then we'll get going. Dang! What's up with this number, Judy? I'm mean, I know. You don't have to explain. It just looks crazy. It just looks crazy. That's all. And 181. Yeah, I think you're right, Josh. That's what I was thinking is what we did already, but we can certainly do more. Um, yeah, it was race car. I think you're right, Josh. Um, and then times. So 11:11 and 2:22. Come on, Judy. You know, I gotta give you a little tease. Just a little tease. Okay, cool. We'll put that down here. We'll look at 3:30. Nice. Okay, so where should we start? Where should we start? Where should we start? Where should we start? I think I'm gonna save new moon stuff and US chart for closer to the end. So then yeah, because those are gonna be heavier. So we'll look at those at the end. Why don't we start with Q&A from Twitch? So any of you that were on Twitch on Wednesday, um, let me know if you have any questions. And while you're putting them into the chat, if you have them, for anybody that wasn't on Twitch on Wednesday, it was my first time going live on Twitch, and I wanted it to be something different than YouTube. And so over on Twitch, what I was doing was I was just showing my process. So we were, and I think the video's over there if you want to check it out. My channel over on Twitch is Vibrant Numerals also, so you can find me there. But I was just showing how I go through and follow a vibrational thread to be able to get a bigger message out. And so the video over there shows how I started looking at just the general vibrations for 2026, because I'm getting ready to put those videos together for you all, and then how that led into more deep astrology and connections to 2025. So that was a lot of fun. Oh, okay. Yeah. So like I really liked it. So I wasn't looking at the chat really at all. Oh, here, let me make sure everybody knows as they're coming in that this is for Q&A from Twitch. So if you have any questions. Um so I wasn't looking at the chat very much at all. Um because I was, so when I really start tapping into the vibrations and really working, it really is like a trance state for me, but it feels very comfortable and soft. It's kind of like working while I'm sleeping. And um I didn't know if it would work, but I actually really liked it. I really liked that you all were able to just watch me and interact. Um, and I was able to just go. Because it's the hardest part about what I do is translating the vibrations into words that everybody can understand, because a lot of the times the vibrational stories I'm getting, it's the numbers changing and they're changing shape and they're changing the way they move, And so then that's um harder to translate in. So like even right now, I'm thinking about what I was seeing and what I was doing while I was in there, and it was yeah, very different and harder to well, when I was in there, it was much easier to do than in here. Like this is harder to do, to try and translate. I'm sure I don't speak another language, but I'm sure it's very similar to people that speak multiple languages, especially when they're speaking a language that's outside of their native language, and needing to translate. And like as you get better, then that's a faster process. But yeah. So let's see what else we got. Oh, that's great. Oh, yeah, I'll look forward to seeing yours, Cinnamon Jupiter, also. Um, yeah, mine should be coming out. I'm going to be working on it. Hopefully, it'll be coming out right at the end of December. I'm going to have a 2026 one, and then I'll also have the one specifically for January. Okay. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's actually really good, Josh. So, um, Josh and I had previous discussions about um like spirit animals, and like when animals and like different visions like or images come to you as part of a bigger message. And so um there's a little bit of a difference. So when you think about, like, we've talked a lot about dreams before, where if an animal comes to you in a dream, I knew you were gonna say that, cousin B. Yeah, so if an animal comes to you in a dream, then it very much is more of a symbol for the message that is coming through in that dream, versus if a particular animal, you have an animal encounter in the wild, then that's similar to a dream, but it's more like a waking message that you're getting from the animal, and it's the symbolism of the animal. So kind of like when you would see like a particular number, and then you can look at the symbolism of that animal at the same time as what were you thinking about, that kind of thing. For a spirit animal, and like when we say, oh, the buffalo is my spirit animal, or the gorilla is my spirit animal, that's where you are highly connecting to the vibrations of that animal. And it's like you're working with them. And so every time that you um, are working with them, then they are um, helping you in some way with your energy. So it's kind of like when um, we get advice from somebody outside of ourselves, because they have a better vantage point. Same kind of thing with your spirit animals. A lot of times they can actually be physical, so it can actually be a pet or some animal that is around you regularly, but it also can just be your connection to a particular animal. And so, what we can do is we can look at, so what I would invite you to do is look at the vibration. So, like, look up and just go on Google and you put in your animal and put in spiritual meaning. And then a lot of times it'll pull up that animal from different cultures, and give you spiritual meanings of that animal and connecting with that animal. What we can do here is we can look at the numerical vibration of their name, because just like with us, um, the name exudes the vibration that we're actually connecting with. So this is the same for animals, um, but also for, like if we're working with crystals, um, or even like trees and plants, the name that we give them or we use for them, gives us very strong, indications of the vibrations that we're working with. And you can use that to help you know how to work with them. So for Josh's, buffalo, and that came up for you quite often, didn't it, Josh? And I think it, yeah, it came up quite often for you, and in particular ways. So that's a good one. But let's, here we go. We'll write out the, so to get the numerical vibration, we use our little cheat code where it's A equals 1 all the way to Z equals 26. And so then we have 2 plus 21 plus 6 plus 6 plus 1 plus 12 plus 15 for buffalo. So let's go ahead and punch that in. And have we done, we did this part, didn't we, Josh? Remind me if we did or didn't. But we get 63. And so when you're working with, this vibration of the buffalo, it is going to bring about some shifting or ending of energy. And so that helps in making sure that you can be very intentional in how you're working with this vibration. Same if we are looking at how we're working with another person's vibrations. We want to understand, what is the natural way that that vibration works. Where is it trying to move to? So it's kind of like, okay, we can see that this river is flowing, to the east. So we want to make sure that we're not trying to force it to go to the south or to a different direction. Oh yeah, that's right. Yep. So Buffalo, New York came up for you, and then, the Buffalo at the University of Colorado. Oh yeah. Yeah, I forgot that Indiana has a, yeah, a buffalo on its emblem. Oh my gosh, that's a lot, Josh. This is your spirit animal for real, for real. Now, Josh, do you remember, or do can you do a quick calculation of your, um life path number? Because then we could look. If not, we can just look at your name. So for this buffalo, it's in the way its energy is flowing is to get to a place of some kind of ending or shifting. And it's extra interesting that this has been coming up a lot for you, Josh, in this year of 2025. Okay. I thought so, Josh. I just didn't want to assume that I remembered, because usually I don't. And the way that it's getting to this ending or shifting is it wants to examine the growth that needs to be made, how it's being made and ensure that it's happening in the right direction. And then by doing that, there's a place where you can be made comfortable so that this ending or shifting can happen in full. That's what the buffalo is trying to do. And so then if you look at knowing this numerical vibration of the name buffalo, if you looked up the spiritual meaning of buffalo, probably a lot of the indigenous people in the Americas have some very strong beliefs around the buffalo. And I know, like the white buffalo, then you can get even more of the vibrations to add to this. But then if we take this name, 63, plus your life path number of 37, this is how you can see how to be able to work with um, with that spirit animal yourself. So if we did 63 plus the 37, you get 100. Okay. Well, all right, Josh. I think you found your spirit animal. So basically, what this is saying, and this is like not common. So when you get something like this is like strong confirmation of these vibrations needing to be worked together. But you need to think about what it is that you're working with. Like you need a specific kind of project. And so together you're getting to something new. And it's interesting because it's like the buffalo is coming in with its vibration to help you end something, like shift some energy and end some energy, so that when you're working with it, you're making room for something new. So it's kind of like if you are wanting to, get a new TV, but you don't get rid of your old one, you're not going to have room for it. Unless, you got a big old house, but that's a different story. So you have to move, you have to end or shift the old so it makes room for the new. So the buffalo is helping you come in and end and shift energy so that new energy can come in. The energy that is both ending and is new is very universal because you have this universe or God energy here with the double zeros. And usually, when you see it with the double zeros, it's like one of these is being diminished and one of these is being enhanced, and they both together are enhancing this one energy. So it's a lot around a lot of this energy that you can't control. So you would work with this buffalo vibration when you're kind of in a position where there's a lot of energy that you can't necessarily control, but you need to maneuver through so that you can be able to get to this new place, whether this new place is a new set of behaviors, a new way of thinking, a new place in life. So whenever you're trying to get to something new, but you're having trouble ending things because it's a lot of energy that you can't control, that's when you want to work with the buffalo. This is very cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's true, Josh. Yeah, because that was like a big part of our conversation was that this buffalo came out in conversation about the community as a whole. Yeah, you're very welcome, Josh. And so you when you're working with your spirit animal, you want to make sure that you understand what its vibration is, but then also how its vibration works with yours. So this is the same for words. Like, so when people have affirmations, and there's some people that are like, oh, that's the best affirmation ever. It works so good. And other people are like, oh, that affirmation is doo doo garbage. It didn't help me, or it made my life crazy. This is why. Because they're only looking at the affirmation itself. They're not even really looking at the vibrations that they're drawing in with that affirmation. And then they're not looking at how those vibrations of the affirmation are actually interacting with their vibration. So everybody's going to have a very specific way of working with the different spirit animals and the different affirmations um, based on their own vibration as well. Okay, Josh. Hi, Rumple. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. What do Oh yeah, we have Cousin B, which one do you want to do? Do you want to look at the gorilla or do you want to look at the jaguar? Let me know. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to look at it. I wanted you to choose one. You want to look at gorilla? Yeah, we can look at gorilla. Woo. Okay. Give me just a minute. So my energy has been up and down all day today. Um this happens when there's very big energy like in the space and coming through. So give me just a minute to breathe because there's the big and it feels multiple um energy coming through. Um Whoa. Whew. Okay. Let me get some water. Luckily I could still see because sometimes when big energy comes in I can't see. Um Let me look in the chat. Oh yes, absolutely. We could do your life path number, Cinnamon Jupiter. We can add it to our list. I just need your birth date. Woo-wee. I feel like I'm on a boat. Okay. Okay. Well, whatever is happening, whatever energy is coming in, it's staying here. So that happens sometimes too when there's really big messages that are coming in. And look at there. I said some big energy coming in, and then we got Tiptoe Joe coming in. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. Well, Cinnamon Jupiter, what we talk about here is how it's really important to have the 2-digit number before you get your single digit life path number. So your single digit life path number is just going to give you like the outcome. It just gives like what's the final vibration that you're contributing to the collective or to the whole. But the 2 digit actually tells you the steps and the path you need to take to get there. Oh my goodness. Ooh wee. Okay. Okay. I think I'm good. If I need to stop again, I will make sure to stop because I'm not good at making sure I stop. I usually power through. So I will make sure to stop. Okay. So we are doing Gorilla for cousin B. Woohoo! And cousin B, do you I don't know, it kind of feels like we need to use your name, but you let me know if you want to look at the connection, the vibrational connection with your name or your life path number. Okay, let me make sure I got everything. Okay, cousin B, gotcha. I gotcha. Yes, Rumpel, we were looking at spirit animals. Yep, and the vibrational connection. So yeah, we could look at peacock next. Whew. Oh, you still over there being a big baby, Tiptoe Joe? I think you have reason to be a big baby right now. So I'll wait till this energy calms a little bit, or at least that when I get control over it, and then I'll send you some healing energy. But I don't want to send you any of this because this is big, big energy. I don't want you to be in pain and feel like you're on a boat. All right, so let's look at this. So if we use our number code, um, this would be 7 plus 15 plus 18 plus 9 plus 12 plus 12 plus 1. All right. And so let's see. 7 plus 15 plus 18 plus 9 plus 12 plus 12 plus 1 is 74. And man, cousin B, you do not realize how strong your energy is. You be pulling in some crazy vibrations. So we just last week on Saturday talked about time, and time is 47. And so this whole time, cousin B was over here getting the mirror image of the vibration of time all ready for us. So that's interesting. Also, especially because when you have these mirrors that are next to each other, it does create one of those portal numbers, which we know cousin B has a ton of, creating portals. Cousin B also has a very strong connection to time in general. But when you put these together, you are actually creating a portal for 77. Here, let me move this up. I just realized I'm writing behind here. For this vibration of 77. And the vibration of 77 is the numerical vibration of the word power. So by having a connection to time and a connection to the gorilla as your spiritual animal, you're creating this portal. And the other thing is that this 44 is the numerical vibration of this word hope. So you're creating a portal from hope. Also, faith is a numerical vibration of 44. So it, and we all know this, that you're creating this portal space of hope and faith that is actually bringing forth power. So freaking crazy, but very cool. Very cool, just by using this gorilla symbol. So, yeah, that's pretty powerful and a bit crazy. But I'm not surprised because B likes to bring in the crazy energy everywhere he goes. I love it. So when you're working with the gorilla, you have to understand what the vibration is. So 7 plus the 4 gives 11, which gives a 2. So the gorilla itself, this vibration is very much around going from 11 to a 2. So it's very much about no longer seeing or trying to balance between the separation of the two extremes, and they don't all the time have to be extremes. So there's no balancing between energies. It's an actual coming together of energies to create something new. This is like cracking me up. I'm trying not to keep laughing because this is just creepy accurate. And then I just looked up and also see that with these two L's written this way, we have the 11 here again. So it's like these two are not supposed to be separate. They're supposed to come together in some way to create something new. That's what the vibration of the gorilla is actually doing. So when you're working with the gorilla, it is encouraging no more balancing between energies. Now, this can also be like balancing between being one way in some space and a different way in another space, because this 11-2 vibration is coming up a lot in the last few years, and it's coming up around needing to step into a place of your most authentic self, so that you're not having to balance between, oh, I'm this way at work and I'm this way at home. And so the gorilla is actually helping you do that. And how it's helping you do that in its vibration is it's first challenging the foundations of things. So it's challenging, what are each of these ones standing on? What are the foundations of those things? And the foundations can be the way, so like thoughts, behaviors, the way things are done. What are they standing on? What really are the foundational things that you need to make sure to have? And what's coming up, and I know we've talked about this before, but I know in our group in particular, it's really important, um, is that we have to understand that when we have gone through trauma, um, and I learned this from experience myself, that when we've gone through trauma, what we do is we take those survival skills, like the things that we have learned to do, to help us survive. We have added those to our foundations. So we've added to our foundations, um, doing things in a particular way, or thinking in a particular way to make sure that we're staying safe. But there's a time when we're not needing to survive anymore, or we're not needing to survive in that same way, where if we don't break down those parts of the foundation, now it makes the foundation weaker, not stronger. And so, not just for Cousin B, but for us, when we go in to Twitch, when we buy Cousin B's merch and are wearing it, whenever we are interacting with this gorilla vibration, it's helping us do this as well. So we can really tap into this gorilla vibration to help us to stop trying to balance between energies, and stop trying to balance between like two sides of ourselves, or being two people, and make sure that we are bringing the pieces that are really authentic to who we are together, so that we can always stand in authenticity at all times. So, again, first step is really examining those foundations. What parts of the foundations are actually creating cracks? And what's coming to me also is, like, if you think about one of the most dangerous things to have, for a foundation. So if we're thinking like a concrete foundation, is water. Because if water gets in the cracks of the foundation, now this is going deep. What the hell? Now your foundation begins to crumble. So even if you start with a very strong concrete foundation, if it starts getting cracks, which are the wounds, and start getting water in there, which is the emotion and an emotional state, now those foundations can begin to turn into sand and be unstable. So the first thing about working with this gorilla energy is a strong examination of that foundation. And then, from a place where you have a stronger sense of at least what the foundation is and where you need to make changes and repair, then that's when you're able to take action and flow, which is the 7, which is the perfect the perfect combination of masculine and feminine is the 7. When you have the masculine energy of action outward with the perfect vibrational flow of the feminine, now you're taking action in vibrational flow with a strong foundation. So now you can really step up to the challenge of needing to see, who am I in these different spaces, and how do I bring them together to create something new? So, who knew? I didn't know that Cousin B having gorillas on everything this is like part of the healing of the group. This is that I had no idea. That is insane. It's kind of blowing my own mind right now. All right, I'm gonna catch up in chat, and then we're going to add this to Cousin B's name and see how much more crazy it gets. Because it's Cousin B, so it's gonna get crazy. I don't know why he turned Italian right then, but that's what happened. mm. Yes, Rumple. Yeah, exactly. Doesn't be the same all the time. You know, Tiptoe, I wonder also what I was doing before YouTube. And I'm sad to say I was probably reading a book. And I don't read as much anymore. So that's a little sad. But I am enjoying YouTube. And I'm enjoying how it is bringing us together even more. You all, you all are. Oh my gosh, you all crack me up. So who gets the ass spirit animal? I know several rappers that we can give that spirit animal to because they seem to like it and they act like one. But moving on. All right, so we're gonna take this vibration of gorilla and let me find a color. Okay, here. Hi, Doc. Thank you for dropping in. I really appreciate it. Yes, yes. Thanks for the reminder. Everyone, please make sure to like the stream. Welcome to all new subscribers. It's great. Thanks, Doc. Have a good one. I hope you're well. Okay, so we're taking the 74, and I know because I looked at it so many times because it just amazes me how accurate it is. But Cousin B is 101. So when we add this up, we get 175. Look at me not using my calculator. I might have to use it now though. No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. And then if we add this up again, we get 13, which goes to 4. So we just had that whole long montage. Yeah, that was definitely a montage about foundations. And so the gorilla is coming in and challenging these foundations. So when Cousin B is working with this gorilla, or this also is true when we are interacting with Cousin B and the gorilla at the same time, because both of those vibrations would be interacting with us. So the gorilla is really challenging the foundations, making you look at, are these foundations strong? And then it's helping to create, with Cousin B's energy, a new foundation or a more stable foundation, because this 4 feels different. This is more like stability or a stable foundation. And we get to this stable foundation from a full transformation. So, Cousin B, you should be working with this gorilla to really get to a place where you're able to make this full transformation. Um, and you might be the only one that knows or notices. But it's really about this transformation, is what's happening right here. This 11 to the 2. So, not going back and forth in decision making, not going back and forth. It very much feels like it's back and forth around it is like who you are, but it's like who you decide to be in any moment. That can get exhausting. So this transformation will help you to not have to make that choice of um who do I need to be here? Who do I need to be there? You can just be your authentic self with this fully stable foundation of who you are. And so the first step to get to this transformation, so really the prequel step, is to understand the energy of the gorilla, which we went through, but then understanding how your vibration is working with the vibration of the gorilla. And so the first thing is to understand change. What does the change actually look like? Because the change can be substantial, it can be huge and really change your life, but not change so much of yourself outwardly that anybody else notices. Like it would only be those that were um, close enough to you that would notice the change. And I think that's this first step, is understanding that this change isn't like, it doesn't have to be drastic, especially not outward. But when this change is made, then you could step into this energy of the star, which is made up of this action in flow. Because you already are very good at taking action and being in a vibrational flow. Um, and so it's understanding that with this change, you could actually do that better. And that's for you, that's not for anybody else. And that it opens up new vibrations, new channels, new ways of doing things, new ways of thinking, new opportunities. And that's the energy that the gorilla is trying to bring in and work with you. So with the gorilla as like a spirit animal that you are working with regularly, now it's time to become more intentional of how you are working with that vibration and that energy. Dang, that's a little bit deep. Especially because all of us that go to Twitch with Cousin B and are interacting with his vibration at the same time as we're interacting with the gorilla vibration, that that's pretty deep. Yeah, you are building Noah's Ark. Ascending to new levels. And what I want you to see, so those that came in a little later, what I want everybody to see is that uh, nowhere on our list is spirit animals. So always bring what you're feeling, what vibrations you're interacting with, because that's where the profound messages are. That's where they are. That's why I try and let this space be very flexible. Because the message that I'm getting isn't always the message that I meant to bring to you. So I think that's very cool because both of those were, well, damn. All right, what are we doing next? You got to remind me now. Judy, if we're going to do dog, I think it actually needs to be. There's a particular dog. I don't know if it's your dog now, but there's a particular dog energy that is working with you. It may not be the dog you have now, and so we need to use the name of the dog. And Cinnamon Jupiter, remind me what we were going to look at for you also. And anybody else that wants to look at a spirit animal, we can look at that also. Okay, great. So let's look at Cinnamon Jupiter. Judy, think about, calm, take some breaths, and think about when you think about the dog vibration. Which dog is it? Which dog? See, I knew you were going to give me more than one. It's only one. It's only one that is like they work together for you, but there's one that is really powerful, like really influential in your life that you want to. We need to look at that name. Okay, so let's look at Cinnamon Jupiter's. Um, okay, Judy, I got you. You're next. So let's look at Peacock. Get out of here. Your spirit animal is the white tiger, Rumple. That's my youngest daughter's favorite animal. To the point where for her 16th birthday, we went to go see them. All right, let's look at Peacock. And okay, you did get your 2 digit is 39. So we'll put that over here so we can look at that. Okay. All right, right. Let me go up here cuz I be forgetting stuff. My brain don't work right sometimes. Isn't that the case though? It'd be like the most amazing brains that be short circuiting and doing all kinds of weird stuff. All right, so we're gonna do after this. We're gonna do Hooch. Hooch plus Judy equals love. If I could draw a heart, I would, but I can't. Rumple will look at the white tiger, and you let me know what name you want to use, or if you just want to look at their energy themselves. And then for Tiptoe Joe, we'll do fox, and Tiptoe, I think you go look in Discord when I sent you your life path number, and let's use that. It's kind of creeping me out because I think you have the same life path number as Cinnamon Jupiter, but just go check for me. So I could be thoroughly freaked out and not pretend. All right, so let's look at Peacock. So for Peacock, we use our code. we get 16 plus 5 plus 1 plus 3 plus 15 plus 3 plus 11. Yeah. Welcome. Welcome to the portal of synchronicities, Cinnamon Jupiter. This happens to us every week. We're glad you're here. See, look, Josh got it. For real. The World Wildlife Foundation. Oh my gosh. Okay, 16 plus 5 plus 1 plus 3. Yes, I don't know if anybody asked, but I still feel like I'm on a boat. still I still feel like I'm on a boat. Uh, yeah, Josh is on the roll today. Josh got some good ones today. Okay, so Peacock is 54. So we have another 9 vibration. So the peacock also, like the buffalo, is trying to bring in these vibrations of ending and shifting. That's what it's really trying to help you do. But it's doing it in a different way, where 54 is the numerical vibration of the word love. So it's trying to help you in a very loving, soft way. But also 54 is the numerical vibration of oracle. So oracles are when you have the um, messages that are coming from outside of yourself, so are coming from the universe, are coming from God, goddess, um, or like in a really profound way. So when you're working with the peacock, its messaging comes through in a very oracle like way, in a way that is very much loving, um, but also profound. So it's like really like deep to the point, but also very soft and loving. Hey. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Welcome to my temple. uh, I just think it's so funny that you all started calling me that. I didn't tell you to do that. Like, where did that come from? I like it though. I like it. It fits. So, what's interesting is we have the 9 here that's very much like the buffalo that we talked about before, where it's ending and shifting. But then, like we just saw with the gorilla, we're starting, the first step is around challenging these foundations. But here, the peacock is challenging these foundations, really understanding what needs to be broken up, what cracks need to be filled, how does the foundation need to be changed so that it's fully stable. And here, where the gorilla's energy is more it's not that it's harsher, it's that it's more heavy, if that makes sense. Because you think about a gorilla and just even its stature, it's big and imposing, versus a peacock, which is coming through with this energy that's softer. So they're both doing these same things of challenging these foundations and trying to get you to see how our foundations, we should constantly be doing housekeeping on our foundations. Constantly. Because as our life circumstance changes, as our as we add vibrations to our vibrational blueprint and our vibrational core, now that foundation needs to be different. So they're both challenging that foundation and working with you in that way, but the vibration feels very different. So this is why it's important to really understand the vibration of your spirit animal, um, so that you can really be able to work with it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because yeah, New Beginnings has some very interesting animal connections as well, even especially on her merch. Hi, Mia. Thanks for being here. Hi, Tasha. Thanks for being here. Welcome in. We're on a side quest tangent on spirit animals. Not what we were planning on talking about, but who needs a plan? So for the peacock, the first step is to really see how the foundations are being shaken up and challenged and used so that it can support the change that needs to happen. And this change needs to happen to be able to get to this ending or this shifting of energy. It's so interesting how we had the buffalo that was that strong 9 energy, and then we went on a tangent. Well, I went on a tangent on the gorilla that had that 4 energy also. And now we have the peacock that has a little bit of both of these. So you can see that these vibrations, they very much come in to help work with you along your path. Hi, Lazavius. Thanks for being here. Welcome in. So now let's look at if we were, so for Cinnamon Jupiter, so if we take your life path number, hey, what are you? I don't like it when this thing just be creating stuff. It's still there. What is this? What is this? What is this weird old hand thing? Where did this even come from? This tells you that I only know how to use my technology, but to a point. So let's look at if how your energy, Cinnamon Jupiter, with your 39 life path number, really works with this 54 vibration of the peacock. So if we do 54 plus the 39, all right, I would grab the calculator again just to make sure. I thought so. We get 93. And here's another similarity to what we just saw. So we have, so when you're working with the peacock, you are also getting this mirror energy vibration between your life path number of 39 and this total vibration, like this weaving of vibrations between you and Peacock with 93. And so for this one, we write it this way. Oh, oh my, what's happening? Here we have the threes that are creating this portal space. And it's bringing forth this 99. Where this 99 is actually the numerical vibration of, oh my gosh, what is happening? This 99 is the numerical vibration of the word ascension. So the raising of vibration. So, Cinnamon Jupiter, when you are working with the peacock as a spirit animal, where you are working in relationship with that vibration, you are creating this portal that is going to help and raise the overall vibration. And that's for us as well. So whenever you are interacting with somebody where you are bringing your energy and you're bringing the energy of the peacock. So like if you, I keep seeing like a necklace or something. Like if you wear a peacock necklace or if you have it on your shirt or something and you're bringing that vibration with you, then you can also create this portal of ascension for others around you. So when you are working with people as an astrologer and trying to help them understand their vibration and how to be able to raise their vibration, bringing in that peacock in images or in what you're wearing to combine with your vibration can really help people get into the flow of raising their vibration. Of course you were. Come on now. You're just freaking me out. Everybody freaking me out. And on that note, I'm going to get some water. Oh my gosh. Josh, what in the world are you on today? You got all the jokes. The universe must be channeling through you with its jokes because the universe always got some jokes. Sometimes cruel ones, but not usually. We just see them that way. Of course you did. That's what Josh is channeling. Tiptoe Joe's Prince phrase last night, huh? Just don't be bringing those pants here, man. You can keep those at home to yourself. Oh goodness, that is too much. Oh, that's what that weird hand is, Rumple? I knew you would know. Okay. It really bothers me when it does that. I'm gonna try not to do that anymore because I don't like that thing. It's weird looking. It creeps me out. All right, so let's look at this 93. Mm. So when we add 9 and 3 together, we get 12, which gives us another 3. So the goal of working, using your energy, and you know what, for you in particular, Cinnamon Jupiter, it's really feeling like you are working with the peacock as a spirit animal, yes, for yourself, but actually more for people that you're interacting with. If it's different, kind of like the same as like what we saw for cousin B, but his tie to actually using those vibrations of the gorilla were super strong. It's not that you're not connected to the peacock. It's like you already did a lot of the work with the peacock. And so now you're meant to use um, that peacock vibration to help others, like to bring it to others. And you could simply bring your vibration with the peacock vibration by like wearing a peacock. Um, and I keep seeing that daggone necklace and like a shirt. Um, but just by doing that, you wouldn't even have to say a lot. You could just bring that vibration to that space, and it could be really helpful to people. So when we're looking at your vibrations together, it's it's coming through and it's looking more like for other people. It doesn't look the same as when it like it's for you. Okay. Okay. Good. I'm glad that's accurate because that was like different. That was the one thing that was very different because it with all the ones we've done before this, I could very much see how it was them working with that vibration towards the goal, but it's you're bringing it. So your vibration together, the ultimate goal is to um, bring in this vibration of growth, but it also helps make sure that people are growing in the right way because because all of the vibrations are neutral, including the three of growth. It means that you could grow in any direction. So you can't just bring the peacock energy with you and just expect people to grow. You have to first help to give them a change in perspective, to see things differently. Um, so working with the peacock, uh, yeah, it's like you're so like if you are creating materials or like courses or um, like guides or something for other people, you want the focus to be around change in perspective. I don't know why that just disappeared like that. There's some there's some creepy ass shit happening today. Maybe cuss. I I don't know where that went or why that just disappeared. So you want to really focus on getting the change in perspective um to be able to get to growth. So not just straight going to growth. But there's also some steps to getting to a change in perspective. So to get to this change in perspective, um, you first have to help other people to examine their growth, the growth they've already made, but also the growth that they are in currently. Like, are they moving in the correct direction with their growth? So helping to direct their growth and making sure that they are growing in a direction that actually makes sense. Hey, there's that that person with that loud ass car, they must get off at work at this time or something. No. Anyway, so first, this is growth, but it's not the same as this end growth. This is an examination of growth. So you start with an examination of growth. What growth has already been made? What growth are they in right now? And in what direction are they growing? Like, does there need to be a pivot? Does there need to be a change? And that's where this 9 is coming in, where it is requiring that there is an ending or a shifting of energy. So, in this examination of growth, it's allowing for you to be able to see in, like with them, like with other people, where there needs to be some kind of ending or shifting of their energy. So then they can get to this change in perspective. And this 9 is really being facilitated by that peacock energy. So that's when you take a step back. Because even though you have the 9 here, it's in your first step. So the first step that you're doing is 9. And so that's not really your, that's not the strongest place where your vibrations can work. Your strongest place for the vibrations to work is at the 3. So working with them at the 3 to examine their growth, and also to then implement the growth at the end after a change in perspective. But you really want the peacock energy of 9 to come in here to help facilitate how, through this examination of growth, things can be ended or shifted. Because then with that ending or shifting, now it's bringing this change in perspective that can get to the end goal of growth. That's very interesting because I haven't seen like the spirit animal vibration in that way, where it's you and the spirit animal working together for somebody else. I usually just see it as the individuals. Very interesting. I think that's all I got for that one. But another, man, you all are bringing the spiritual sauce today. Now I gotta find that list. Where'd I put that daggone list? Is it up here? Oh yeah, there we go. There it is. All right. So let me catch up in chat and get some water. Let's see. Tiptoe Joe, did we get your life path number? Let me see. If anybody else saw it, please make sure to let me know, because I've gone back quite a ways and I don't see it. And I don't want to go too far back because then I'll get lost in our old conversation. Well, your old conversation. Because I stay behind in the chat. Gosh, do peacocks fly? Or they like a chicken where they can fly a little bit but not a lot. Oh, you're very welcome, Cinnamon Jupiter. That's so nice. Okay, we got Tiptoe Joe's, and we need Rumple if you want to just look at the white tiger. I thought it was the same. Creepy. Creepy twinsies. Yeah. Yeah, Tiptoe Joe. Like, yeah, like that is so like um even like feeling like when you should listen to somebody else or yourself is like that 11 that we talked about earlier where it's the back and forth. But as you are learning how to listen to your intuition even more, then you can be more confident in just listening to your first mind and really understanding who is around you where you can listen to them, but in certain areas. Because it, oh my gosh, why is it the example that's coming to my mind? It's so rude. This is the universe having jokes. So, like, for example, you wouldn't go to the eye doctor to ask about your colonoscopy results. Everybody get your colonoscopies, stay healthy and safe. So it's learning who you can ask because that's from your intuition also. That's that from that gut feeling also of um who can you connect with to talk about certain topics that are it is going to be in flow. I know, Rumpel. I don't know why that's the example that came to mind. When an example comes to my mind too, I have to say it because I can't find another example. That's like the worst part about it. So yeah, so when you were talking about like whether you listen to um your feelings, your own gut feeling, your own intuition versus somebody else, that's where it is. It's not an either or. So it's not that 11 where it's either or. It's really coming to a place where it's that two, where it's like, when do you know that you just have to follow your intuition? And when do you know that you have to go to the expert in that area to help you guide your intuition? Cool. All right. So, oh, great. Now I'm getting hot. Oh, well. Oh, yes, Cinnamon Droopy, you're right. Like, when you don't know if they can fly, but they fly enough to be like, whoop, back up off me. Yeah, that's flying. That's flying in my book. I thought so, Josh. I thought that was from a movie. I just couldn't remember which one. That's hilarious. Rumble! I thought we were going to let that example go. How did it come back from the depths? Mm-mm. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, hi, New Beginnings. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. We're working with the vibrations of spirit animals, and we thought of you because you have your. I forget what the animal is, though, that's on your shirt. Or is it two different ones? Woo-wee. Mmm. The wildcat. That's right. So do you want to look at it? We can add it to this list right now while we're here. And is that like what you would consider like your spirit animal? Like the vibration, the animal vibration that you would work with regularly? Wasn't there a movie in like the 80s where the wildcat was the that wasn't that the name of the movie? I don't want to show my age, but I actually was young. I probably should not have been watching that movie. Oh, it was. Yeah. Was it? Yeah. Wildcat. Oh, I remember now. Yeah, I should not have been watching that movie. I was too young. Okay, cool. We're gonna add the wildcat here. And so while we do these others, we can new beginnings, you could think about if you want to add, if you just want to look at the wildcat, or if you want to add a name or a life path number to it. Come on, Tiptoe Joe. I was trying to let it go, and you and Rumple just keep bringing that nasty stuff back. I didn't come up with that suggestion. It was totally the universe sick Yui joke. All right, let's look at Hooch and Judy. Okay, do not let me forget that I at least want to make sure to talk about the new moon with you all because we are in peak energy. Luckily, it's peak energy from the peak till the next 8 hours. So hopefully we don't take that long talking about spirit animals. But we should still be able to catch that energy. But just don't let me forget. Like, if nothing else, I want to make sure we talk about that. Okay, sounds good. It is. It's very, and this one especially because it's the last one of 2025, and there's so much astrological stuff and stuff just happening in the earth and in that astrological space. It's crazy right now. Thank you, Judy. Okay, so let's look at Judy's dog's name, Pooch. And so this would be 8 plus 15 plus 15 plus 3 plus 15. And so what I already am picking up on is just even because you can see it here in the name that we have a portal just even right here. And so this should not be 15. This should be 8. See? So then there's this portal here already, just even in the name. And what's coming through in the middle is this 15 plus 15 plus 3. Hey, there are those fives again for you, Judy. Um, and so this is 33. So it's a highly amplified. So this is probably why this dog's energy felt so strong to me. Because then if we write it out like this, where we have 8, 33, 8, yeah, you have you can see you have two doubles in here. And so it's very strong energy. Uh, is oh gosh. Judy, is this dog still alive? I'm adding this up while I'm waiting for your answer. Yes, Rumple. You were born under a new moon, so you should. It should be like energy activate. Or whatever they do. To step into your supernatural form. Yep, all those fives. Okay, so when we add this up, this is 49. So here we have this 9 again. Keeps coming up. Probably because it's this year of the 9. Yeah, I asked you if Pooch was still living. Because there's some spirit, there's some soul that is like trying to talk to me, but I don't know if it's the dog or not. I'm not talking to it either way, just so you know. Just wondering, just wondering. But this 49, we get a 13 and then a 4. So we keep seeing these 4s and these 9s. So when that happens, when those synchronicities keep coming up in our space, we know that there's a bigger message that we need to make sure that we're paying attention to. Okay. Okay. So yeah, it's him. He's here. I I'm not talking to him. So you know. But it is interesting like the animals when they're in cuz really when we all pass on, so anything that's living, we turn back into our vibrational form. And so of course you do. And so what happens is when we think of somebody, um, whether it's an animal or a person, um, it's it comes in the form for us to recognize. So even though um, the dog is coming in the form to that you could recognize it as um, your dog, um, it could speak to me just the same as like any pure vibration or spirit or whatever you want to call them. But I'm not talking to him. mm, yeah, I don't want to. That's like one thing I don't like. I don't like to do. I don't like to do. I don't know why it creeps me out. Well, yes, I do. It's childhood trauma. My cousins thought it would be fun to have me play Ouija board a little bit too much. But yeah. Oh my gosh, Josh, you are gonna have me singing DMX, and I do not need to be doing that right now. Don't get it in my head. All right. So I'm seeing Hooch's energy. This was another kind of clue. Um, was that because when I look at Hooch's energy, in relation to yours, um, his energy is like above. which usually for me indicates that it's a more pure vibrational state. Like when we're in these weird ass meat suits, um, we're in a more dense form. It's not necessarily a lower form, it's just more dense. It's like we're solid ice instead of being able to be water as in its gas state. So that's why I wondered also. That was my initial, but then the dog want to come in and talk to somebody, but I'm not talking to him. I will send him to your dreams, Judy, and you could tell us if you have dreams. If he talks to you in your dreams, because I'm not doing it. That's one place where I put my foot down. I will do it. Mm-mm. I'm not even gonna open that up. All right. So in this case, this animal, because it's a the name specifically, and it's a specific animal. Um, this is one of, when we talk about how you have the layers of vibration that are weaving together to make you who you are. This is one of those. He represents one of those experience vibrations as you were moving through life that you have now added into your vibrational weaving. So it's almost like your experience with him is a part of you. And so to work with his vibrations, it is, you have to draw that from within. So it is like um, meditating on him, looking at a picture, having the memories, bringing the memories up. That's how you would work with this energy again. Um, but it's very much like we've been seeing, which is crazy because all of these animals want to come in and do the same thing. So, man, we got some big messages already today about endings and shiftings, but also around foundations. So, Hooch really is bringing this energy, this vibration to help you stabilize. You need to tap into his vibration to help you get to a more stabilized place. Um, and that stability comes from like a full transformation. So not just a change like we saw with the peacock, but it's a full transformation, like we saw with I think, what was it? I don't remember, but we've seen the 13 already. But it's the full transformation that needs to happen. It's the change. This is the also will help you get out of those fives, because if you just keep making the smaller changes, you can't get to the transformation. The transformation is the biggest change you can make. It's a change that you cannot come back from. So Hooch was brought into your life to bring you this vibration, to help you transform, to get to a place of stability. And Hooch would get you to that place of stability by helping you to see what needs to end. In this position, it doesn't feel like shifting. It feels like ending. Like certain things need to end in order for you to clearly see what are the changes, and here's where the change is in these foundations. What are the foundational changes that you can make to be able to get to this point of transformation? But the whole goal is to bring a sense of stability. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry I got quiet. I'm trying to ignore this dog. I'm trying to annoy I'm trying to ignore your dog. You might need to start talking to him so he can bring his focus to you. Cause it's always as soon as they know I can hear him, they just be bothering me. So let's look at Judy, which is 10 plus 21 plus 4 plus 25. So Judy is 60. So let's look at, if we do 49 plus 60, we get 109. So what's a little bit harder um, for you, Judy, is because this is hooch specifically. You have to um, it's not as simple as just having the like the image of the animal. Of course he was. He is loud. You need to call him. Like, just say his name out loud so he can come to you and leave me the hell alone. But you have to it's like you have to pull that energy. You have to pull his vibration out. Um so you can actually work with it. Um so you have to be very intentional. You have to, like, to the point where you would say out loud or like writing in your journal, I'm specifically asking for the vibration of hooch to come in and work with me. But doing that, it's this is like some very powerful vibrational usage. Like your relationship vibrationally with hooch can very much help you. Um yeah and a lot of things that are going on, um because together, when you're intentionally using your vibration with his vibration, it can bring on this ending that needs to happen right here. But I'm hoping you said his name out loud because I see him like fading a little bit. Say it one more time though. It'll help bring on this ending, but also what it does is when we have this God or universe energy um here in the middle, it is diminishing this. So it's making it so this end doesn't feel as harsh. So you and Hooch working together vibrationally will draw in this God universe energy. It's like when people say, "Oh, it's coming in," like you feel a sense of comfort around something ending. That's what's happening here with this zero. But then it's enhancing this new energy. Oh my gosh. Now my ears are ringing. It's crazy. So this can be very not just useful, but some very powerful vibrations that you could work with. Oh my gosh. Yep, but then you get the 10 and the 1. And it's having like your change that it keeps coming up because you keep having that 5 come up. No, you're okay. Don't apologize. just just take your loud ass dog home and everything will be fine. uh but having the 10 here instead of two fives, that also is contributing to like the lessening of the harshness. So it's helping you get to this new energy um in a more subtle way. Judy, your dog is annoying. I'm sorry. But he keeps so he's come to you, but he keeps like peeking around the corner, and I don't know if that's something that he used to do. But he keeps peeking around the corner, and it's real annoying. You might have thought it was cute. I don't think it's cute. It's annoying. I'm gonna need him to stop doing that. All right, I think we're done talking about Hooch because he bothering me. Let me see what you say, Josh. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what all of our memories are, and all of our passed on loved ones are. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, exactly. That's why I try and emphasize that when we think about like um relationship and like vibrational exchange, it's not how we are defining it. Because if we have any kind of vibrational exchange with anybody, where it could be making eye contact with a stranger, you don't even have to say anything. But now, with that vibrational exchange through eye contact, now that is energy that you can add, as that experience you could add to the experience that you are adding to the core of your vibration. You're adding it to who you are. Because we know that even like the way a stranger looks at you, like it can tap into your wounds, it can tap into your insecurities. It also could like brighten your day. So that can, even that can be a very strong vibrational exchange that can add to that weaving. And all of the vibration, remember, we're trying to work our way on that path. And so, all of the experiences, we use the core of who we are vibrationally to draw in those experiences to us. And then we're using those experiences as we move through life to build upon our vibrational core. So that's a that's an amazing observation, Josh. Because that's very true of like everybody, anything, even like trees. Like if you have like a experience where you used to hug this one particular tree every day after school, that's adding to that vibrational experience into the core. Okay. Is Rumple still here? Rumple, do we want to just look at White Tiger? Or are we adding names? Okay. Let me get some water. You're definitely helping, Josh. You're very welcome. And thank you for witnessing because that helps move the message along. Yeah, we get on a vibrational flow and then we go places. We like to jump into the rabbit holes here. As long as they're vibrational. You're welcome, Judy. Okay. Where's Rumple? Did she go to dance? Exactly, Josh. That's exactly what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say. You're going to have to move to the back of the line. I got a little bit of moment to be able to get in. Okay, because next would be yeah, that's what I was thinking. Cousin B, she's probably over there dancing. We'll come back. Let's look at Tiptoe Joe's fox. We'll look at Tiptoe Joe's fox with his life path number of 39. And we'll put up here 39 is the life path number. Oh, good. I'm glad you're still awake. All right, so let's see. So for Fox, Fox is going to be 6 plus 15 plus 24. Oh no, you get to call her out now. Oh yeah, 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 yes. Thank you, cousin B. Thank you, thank you. So let's see. So we got 6 plus 15 plus 24. Here we go. Another another 4 and a 9. So 45 takes us to 9. Um Oh, you popped up now. Okay, you're going to be next. 48. Okay. Okay. You're going to be next after Tiptoe Joe. Good. I'm glad you're still awake. All right. So, the fox also is really bringing about this energy. Man, what energy did you bring in here with you, Rumple? Got me feeling like I'm on a boat again. It's okay. It really hasn't gone away this whole time. It was probably Hooch that made it worse. It's okay. But this 9, again, is really about an ending. I'm trying to see if it's shifting also. No, it really wants things to end. So it's bringing to your attention things that really need to end. So it's bringing about this end for change. So this is the examination of change. So it's looking at what are the changes that need to happen. So Tiptoe, when you see a fox in any form, so if it's alive, if it's on something, or even if you think about it, you want to pay attention to when and where you are seeing this fox because it's supposed to be drawing your attention to a change that needs to happen. So when you see it in, like, while you're doing a particular task, when you're talking to a particular person, when you're thinking about a particular thing, then that's the area where change needs to happen. That's where you start digging in to be able to look at the change. Because when you make those changes, now it's bringing in this new stability. It's bringing in a new foundation. Remembering that the foundation is like the way you think, um, the behaviors, how you do things. And it's coming up for you also, kind of like with Cousin B, that this change and like this new stability doesn't necessarily have to be anything that others see. You might think they see it. You might be waiting for somebody to point it out, but it may not necessarily be something that they see. So the fox is bringing in this examination of change so you can get to this new foundation, this new sense of stability, so that you can bring an end to the old foundation, the old way of doing things, the old behaviors, the old thought patterns. That's what's ending here. That's why the fox is so adamant that it needs to be a hard end. Don't go back and dance. It's almost your turn. Don't go back and dance. It's almost your turn. So that's what this fox is bringing in um for you. And it's interesting. Tiptoe, do you, is it that you, do you see foxes, like, or did you see a lot of foxes at some point in your life? Because it, like, I keep actually seeing a fox. And it seems like it's a lot of times when you are like in those quiet moments, like by yourself. Um, so you got to really pay attention to what you're thinking about, if this is true. Hmm, interesting. Um, man, I just keep seeing this fox. It's one particular fox. I just keep seeing. It's crazy. All right, so let's look at your vibrations together. So the fox is really coming in with its vibration to help you to examine the change that actually needs to happen, to bring in new stability, like a new foundation. So like the old foundation or whatever was making the old foundation less stable or weak can come to an end. So let's look at 45 plus your 39 life path number so we can see how your vibration interacts with the fox. Okay. Okay. So pay attention because I keep seeing an actual fox. So pay attention. It might be coming. It might be calling to you. So now that you're paying attention, you can actually tap into that vibration. But make sure that when you see it, and it doesn't matter what form it is, if it's a living fox, if it's on TV, if it's like a logo or like something that's not living, if it's a picture, Make sure you're paying attention to what you're thinking, who you're with, or who you're talking to at the time, or like where, because that's going to give you more hints about what you should really be focusing on with that vibration. So this adds up to 84. And this will get us to a 12 and to a 3, which we've already seen tonight also. So working with the fox energy really is about getting you to a place of growth. Yeah, so I'm remembering now that this was like the peacock for Cinnamon Jupiter, where, and this definitely feels different. Like this energy, this vibration really is for you, Tiptoe. It really is for you to work with that fox vibration so that you can get to an area of growth. But to make sure that you're growing in the right direction and in the right way. Because you don't want to grow by like walking upstream. Because that's just going to take you farther and farther from the destination, and it's going to be really hard to move against the flow. So to make sure that's not happening, you have to get to this change in perspective. So your perspective is made up of your core vibration, but also the experiences that you've had in life have given you perspective. But there's something in that perspective that needs to change before you'll be able to grow in the way that the fox is really wanting you to. And a way to be able to begin to see that is to first examine the foundations of things. Examine what is this perspective standing on. So like we talked about earlier with the gorilla, you could potentially have parts of the foundation that are no longer serving you. They're not working for you anymore. So any of these thoughts or behaviors or the way that you do things that worked for you in the past, there's something there that isn't working anymore. And it's actually making the foundation unstable. It's creating cracks. So the first step is when you see this fox and you are documenting when and where you've seen this fox. And you can even invoke this where you can purposefully look at pictures of a fox and draw that vibration in if that's what you want to do and work with it. You want to use that vibration to examine your foundations. Examine what are the foundations. And I know it sounds weird, but let the fox tell you. Because a lot of the times when we have certain thoughts and behaviors and ways of doing things that we've done for a very long time, we need somebody outside of ourselves to point it out to us in a way that we can understand. And that's what the fox is here to do for you. To help show you where those cracks are in the foundation. Because by examining that foundation, now you're able to recognize what are these cycles that have keep happening over and over again because of these parts in the foundation that are no longer serving you. They're no longer working. So, what is happening over and over again because this piece is not changed? I don't know. Stop it, Josh. You're killing me. This very much feels like for you, Tiptoe Joe. It feels like it's um like you might be so used to it in life that it may be these cycles that you're kind of aware of, but you're not seeing very clearly. And the fox can really help you to see it clearly. You know he has that song memorized. You know he does. Well, welcome to the club. I mean, Judy got me over here talking to her passed on dog. I think you could talk to a picture of a fox. You could just do what I do. So when I need to talk to like a spirit or read vibrations and say stuff out loud, I I put in my earbuds or I put the phone to my face like I am on a phone call. Go ahead, question me. Exactly, cousin B. You know he's been singing that in his head this whole time we've been talking about a fox. This whole time. Oh man. This was a good one too. All right, now it's Rumple's turn. Oh no. Okay. So we're gonna look at the white tiger, and Rumple's life path number is 48, we believe. You're welcome, Tiptoe Joe. I'm glad that you're here. Hopefully, you're feeling better. Maybe that's what the fox can bring you. So this is an interesting one because it's so we have two vibrations that are interweaving with each other from the beginning. So we have um the color white, and then we have the tiger. So you can add on specific colors or patterning um, to the vibration of your spirit animal if you want to go in depth, if you want a deeper set of vibrations to work with. This is one way of doing that. So I already know white is 65. So with the color white, it's resonating at this 65, which is another one of those 11 to 2 vibrations. So it very much, just like the gorilla, is about um, recognizing how these energies need to come together to create something new. And here, what's interesting is that 65 is also the numerical vibration of the word abundance. So, like we were talking about with affirmations, if you're using this word abundance all the time, um, it's resonating at this 65. But what happens a lot of times when people talk about they're calling in their abundance, they want abundance, is they're not prepared to actually deal with these vibrations of 65. Because the first step to really tap into this vibration is to make a change. And with that change, now you're getting a new comfort zone. So the changes that you're making are shifting what you're comfortable with. Because this new comfort zone could be discomfort. But we know that it's in a place where we are uncomfortable. That's where we learn the most. So there's a level of needing to learn and grow and build in a certain way to reach a level of abundance. Same with actually working with this vibration of white. So this white tiger already is bringing in this vibration of 65, where it is really requiring you to make a change, to step into a new comfort zone, which for you, Rumple, in particular, it definitely is coming through as something you may not be comfortable with. Where it's like a level of discomfort, but it's for your learning, because you learn the most when you're in an uncomfortable position. That's why when we like are in a bad situation, it's easier for us to make changes than when we're in a good situation. Because even if you're in a good situation, even if you know that you need to make a change, it's harder to, because you're comfortable. Now, we can get comfortable in a space that is not good for us. We can have comfort zones that actually are not good for us, and we really should be moving out of. But that would be the same as if it's good for us. When you get comfortable in the discomfort, now it's harder to change. So the vibration of this white tiger really is, it's bringing in this 65 for a very particular reason. So it's like the white vibration is making you in a state of discomfort so that you can fully learn from this tiger energy. So then tiger is 20 plus 9 plus 7 plus 5 plus 18. Oh, wee. I think my eyes are going. 20 plus 9 plus 7 plus 5 plus 18. It's 59. Look, we got another 9 here. 59. Takes us to 14 and another 5. So there's something about this vibrational lesson from the tiger that needs you to be in a state of discomfort in order to fully get it. This is so interesting. And it is this, there's some kind of change that the white tiger is trying to bring to you, but you're not going to be able to make this change without being a little bit uncomfortable. It doesn't feel like it's like so uncomfortable that it feels like it's like disrupting. Like it doesn't feel like life disruption. It feels like it's a place of comfort that needs to be shaken up. It needs to be made uncomfortable so that you can actually get to this place of change. Absolutely. Absolutely. So the something new that's coming in, that wants to come in and is there for you, absolutely can make you uncomfortable, especially if it's against like what you have set as your foundations. So to get to this change, so this white part of the white tiger is making you uncomfortable so that you can examine what your foundations are and allow this new energy to come in. And if you need to go even beyond this, it feels very much like you could make this change if you allow yourself to be uncomfortable enough here with the 65 that you really could start making this change from here, examining the foundations, and letting the new energy in so a change can happen. But if this discomfort, if you don't allow yourself to be uncomfortable enough, then you're also going to have to go through these steps. So you're going to have to end something. Again, with this ending, it can make you uncomfortable, and you're going to have to make a step of change before you can examine your foundations. Interesting. But let's add these together. Because this can feel like if you're just looking at these two things separately, these two vibrations separately, it could feel unnerving. It could feel like you don't want to work with the white tiger. We don't want that. Um, so let's look at if we add these together. So 65 plus 59 gives us 124. Yeah. Yes, exactly, Rumple. It did. That being too comfortable in something that's not working for you can make you stuck. There was another time in our conversation earlier tonight that it did come up also. I'm just not remembering where. But I want you to see this. So 65 plus 59 is 124. So when these vibrations come together, it gives you a 124 woven vibration. 124 is the numerical vibration of the phrase, I love you. So this is where it's bringing you comfort at the same time that it's making you uncomfortable so you can learn this lesson of change. I knew you were going to say that. But you need to embrace this. There's some really big new energy coming into your space, and it's really important for you to be able to um, be uncomfortable even for a moment to be able to get here, because when we add this up also, we get to the 7, which is that perfect combination of masculine and feminine. And you can't get here without being uncomfortable enough to make these changes. But a true pure 7 is not just action. It's not just the male action outward. It is also the feminine flow. And we've seen this 7 before in tonight's reading. So there's very much the 7 energy is coming up for you very strongly with this white tiger. Very interesting. But do you notice how we have a lot of synchronicities through all of these readings? That there's a lot of these same kind of vibrations that are coming up, but they're coming up in very different ways. That's a very good point, Josh. That this I love you could really be helping you bring this out of yourself. So then it's no longer ew. Absolutely, Cinnamon Jupiter. That's why I love these times that we get to spend together. Because it's definitely the right people at the right time with the right topic. So let's look at 124 plus Rumple's 48. Yeah. Which, by the way, is the same life path number as our friend Kendrick Lamar. Very out of worldly vibration. and it's funny that I say that because when we do 124 plus 48, we get 172. And 72 is the numerical vibration of hip hop. So it's there, it's embedded. But this is very much so when we add these up, this is very much wanting to bring about this energy of something new, and something new that is supported by God or the universe or higher vibrational power. Yeah, you do. But the other thing that is coming up that I I swear we've seen before in this reading. We'll have to go back in the recording. But we also have where here's this 2 where we saw up here it was the 65 that was taking us from the 11 to the 2. So here's that 2 that's coming from no longer allowing these 2 sides to be separate, but bringing them together to create something new. And by doing that, now it's stepping into the energy of the star. And this is what we've seen before, where it's stepping into this energy of the star, where you're able to take this action in flow to be able to fully receive this new energy. And this 7 is very much coming through as 77. I think because this vibration is connecting very strongly somewhere else in our discussion. Yep, well, that makes sense. But this 77 is the numerical vibration of power. But also, this 77 is the numerical vibrations of wound. And when we are the most uncomfortable is when our wounds are open and we are able to, by healing the wounds, draw the power from them. And this we are able to do not just for ourselves, but for others. You all are so funny. Josh, you are on one today. They're coming out really good. You tapped into the universe's sense of humor, which it very much has a sense of humor. Okay, good, because this is definitely, yeah, this is very strong. So in you're able to be able to like tap into these vibrations to help you be able to make this change. But we've also seen where this 10 has come up before. I think it was with Judy, where the 10 softens the change that needs to happen because the two fives are in there together. And it's that universe energy that's coming in to help bring comfort so that you're able to make those changes easier. Mm-hmm. How does that work? How do you get to be the teacher's pet and the class clown? All right, let's see. Who else do we have? All right, somebody want to go grab new beginnings or new beginnings if you're here, let me know cuz I think the only one we have left is yours cuz we just did White Tiger with the 48 and we did Tiptoe Joe's Fox with 39. So we can do Wildcat and maybe while I wait for new beginnings, we can look at because it came up that 77 this month in December. This is one of the other things I wanted to talk about. Not the new moon yet, but I wanted to talk about Chiron because we have several aspects with Chiron this month that are very loud, very loud. Where so Chiron is the wound. It's the wounded healer. But this is how, like with our Chiron, is how we are able to use the energy of that wound, the opening of that wound, to be able to pull out the vibration of power. And right now, Chiron is in and has been in for quite a while. The sign of Aries, which is around identity, especially I am. So there's a lot of this wounds of identity, wounds of I am that are coming up this month. But it's actually a lot of opportunities because most of what we're seeing are trines, which actually opens up opportunities for us to not just heal these wounds, but use the power that comes from even just acknowledging the wound to make some pretty substantial changes in our life. So I think it was on the 5th that we had Mars trine Chiron. So this was when we had the masculine energy was giving this opportunity or working with Chiron to bring this opportunity. Also, Chiron is retrograde right now, which means it's turned inward. It's a lot of review and remembering your wound. And that's one of the ways to honor that wound. We then had this week, I think it was yesterday. There's is there another one in here? I think there is, but I don't remember it. But we this week on the 18th, we had Venus trine Chiron. And I think there's one more that's in here, but I don't remember. Okay. Thank you, Tiptoe Joe. Okay. Okay. Thank you. I'll look for her message then. So here we had where the masculine energy was getting a lot of opportunity to work with its wounds to begin some of this healing. Very much so, Cinnamon Jupiter. That's exactly right. And then Venus gave an opportunity for the feminine energy to work with Chiron and work with its wounds. Now, remembering that we all have masculine and feminine energy within us. We all are made of both. And if you're denying one or even both of those energy types, it's probably because there is a wound there. So this is a really good time to work with it and to get some healing from there. The thing I wanted to bring to your attention, though, is that on Sunday, the 21st, is when we have Jupiter, who is retrograde. So it's expanding inwardly, expanding your remembering and your reviewing, is going to be square Chiron. And so this is where I think we've talked about it before or had it in a video, where this is where we need to be really looking at how are our wounds preventing us from expanding or from actually being able to take in what we need to expand our life. So that's what's coming up on the 21st. And then after this, I believe it's on the 27th. And I'll remind us before we get there, is where we have Mercury trine Chiron. So here, our communication and our communication style can be examined for how are our wounds impacting how we are communicating our truth out to the world. So this is some very powerful healing work this month, especially because this is the last month of this 9-year, where 2025 is very much trying to help us to end things that no longer need to be in our life, but mostly shift energy into a new space. I think you're right, Judy. It might be the 30th. I'll check. I'll maybe put it in a comment on this live if these dates are different, because I also want to figure out what, there's one more that was in between Mars and Venus. Uh yes, Josh, we all do. And it's time to clean out the wounds. So, oh my gosh, why do these like nasty examples keep coming up? So if you have if anybody, I know we all probably have had a time where you've fallen and scraped your knee. And the first thing you have to do is clean it out. You have to get the dirt and the grime and get that out. But that also could be the most painful part. But once you start that process, then the healing process has begun. So you first have to acknowledge that not only do you have a wound, but you got a nasty, dirty wound. So clean it out. Acknowledge that it's there. Clean out the debris so then the healing can begin. And just because we have these aspects in December does not mean this is the only time. It means that this is a good time for you to be able to become aware of what these wounds are, so then you can begin the work. Because healing your wounds, it's a forever work. Like, it's always going to happen, because even if you heal your wounds completely, you still have scars, and you still have to acknowledge and be aware of what your scars are. Oh yeah, I can't even believe that next week is my birthday. Yay. We'll see what we're gonna do. I don't know, because usually on my birthday I don't work, and I just take extra time for myself. And I bought my birthday gift for myself. I always buy myself at least one birthday gift. And this year I'm such a dork. I know. But I got really excited because I bought myself a grounding mat. Well, it's actually a kit. So it's a grounding mat that's a whole sheet, so it can go on my bed. So then, regardless of, because I move a lot at night, so regardless of how I roll around, I can be on this grounding mat, which is very good for healing inflammation, but also keeping your energy flowing and moving while you sleep. But this kit has that, and it has like a smaller one that can go like under my yoga mat. So and it could go. I'll get the. I think it's, you can put it on your wrist or your ankle. So like while I'm online working with you all, I can have it on like my ankle, and it'll help me stay grounded. I'm excited. That's it's gonna be a great gift. There you go. Look at you all. At it again. All right, let's talk about um our moon. Let me see if I can grab real quick. Gonna see if I can find the December moon chart for us. Oh yeah, here we go. We could use this. Yes, the siblings. So today is the last new moon of 2025. Um, this is the start of, I like to look at it as the 2.5 year cycle. Here we go. I'm going to crop it. Look how fancy I am. Oh, you fancy, huh? Oh, you fancy, huh? Yeah. Tech fancy, baby. All right. So today is the start, and I don't think it's Scorpio. Let me look. So, because I thought it was Sag. Oh, yeah, it is. It's Sagittarius. So this is good too that I caught this. So, can make that change. Stop it. So this is not in Scorpio, it's in Sagittarius. And it's at 28 degrees. So it's late in the sign. So it means that it's almost fully matured vibration or energy. It has learned a lot of lessons, and Sagittarius is that area of the philosopher. So the new moon today, so our new moon is always connected to a full moon in the same month, and then a full moon 6 months from now that's in the same sign. But I like to focus on this moon cycle that has these four different stages that last for 2.5 years. And I like this one the most because it fits with like how I like to set my goals. You know how you like set 3 year goals, 5 year goals, 10 year goals. Well, this 2.5 year cycle just fits with those goals. Oh, we are? Okay. Oh, I think I do that. But I don't know. I don't care. It made me excited anyway. And so having this be 2.5 years, it means between each one of these or each one of these phases, we actually have 9 months. So, yes, we're in the peak of the new moon now. This is when its energy is the most strong. But we actually have 9 months that we can plant these seeds of intention in this moon cycle. That's the other thing that I really like about this 2.5 year is like I don't have to settle on intentions like right now today. I can have some time to be able to say, oh, yeah, I should have added this. Or, you know what, I should change that. So, the new moon today, we want to set our intentions. What I would suggest today is to select a broad intention or a broad goal that you can get to in like 2.5 years. So, a broad goal or intention is what you would want to focus on today. So, for example, like if your big broad goal it could be something very physical, it could also be very vibrational or different. So you could say, especially with Sagittarius here, who's the philosopher and the teacher, So if you wanted to say in 2.5 years, I want to finish this certificate, or I want to finish this degree, or, that, like, that's my goal. That in 3 years, I want to have some part of my education done, or I want to learn things that'll help me become the teacher, help me to think deeper. That could be your broad goal and an intention. And then throughout these 9 months, so then from today, December 19th, 20th, until this September, and we'll say 17th, because the 18th is definitely now moving on to that next phase. You have this 9-month period to fine tune your goal. So if you set a broad goal today, then throughout these 9 months is when you want to fine tune your goal or your intention. So this is where you can, and it doesn't even have to be like, basically this is like breaking down that broad goal. So it could be broken down into tasks and subtasks. So if it's like going back to school or finishing a degree, what are the tasks or the subtasks to be able to get there? This is all like planning. It's your planning stage. It could be like, what are the steps that you need to get? What are the different parts and steps that you need to take to meet your goal? So this new moon time that we are in right now, it really is about planning. And do not worry about taking action yet, because then on September 18th, 2026, this is when we step into that first quarter moon energy. And this is when you're taking action. This now is when you are taking what you have planned in that new moon time and you're actually putting it into action. But again, you have 9 months to do this. So this means that in this 9 months, you could take action in one way, and if it doesn't work out, you could backtrack and take a different action. Especially if you've already done your planning. So if you've already done your planning where it's like, okay, I want to go and get this certification, or I want to get this new degree. But here are my top program. Here's the second choice. Here's the third choice. So then when you are taking action, you can now go through those choices, or you can apply to all of them so that you have all the choices. That's what this first quarter moon time is. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't take action or you couldn't take action up here. It just means that it may not move as smoothly as if you waited for this time. Because in this time, the vibration of the moon is moving in this way to help you take these actions. We then will come up here. We then, after we have 9 months of taking action, we then get to the full moon. And notice this full moon is not even until 2027. So you really do have 9 months to work on this, to perfect it. Make sure that you are setting the right goals and intention, like fully planning it out, and then um, fully taking action. At this full moon time, this is when we get illumination. This is when you can see your path clearly. So, up to this point, you're just planning the path that you want to go, and you're taking actions towards that path so you can begin. Um, the full moon is where you can see things very clearly, where you can make choices to pivot. Because you could see things very clearly in these 9 months, now you can make choices of like, okay, I need to change it this way a little bit, or I need to change it that way a little bit, or I need to do it a little bit different this way so that it'll work out. Or like if we go back to our example, if it's like, okay, I want to go back into school and get this degree, or I want to increase my expertise. When you get to this full moon time, you could say, oh, you'll be able to see clearly, here's what I'm missing. I've done all these things already, but there's still some gaps here. I also need to change my work schedule so that I'm able to go to school at this time. And now you have 9 months to make that happen instead of having to try and do it last minute. And then when we get to the last quarter moon, the last quarter moon is where you get to completion of the goal or the harvest of the rewards of the energy you've put in. But this again is going to be 9 months until we get to the next new moon that's in Sagittarius at or near this degree or a different degree. So when we get to the last quarter moon, it's not like, oh, you have to have it done at this time. You have 9 months to really see, okay, what do I have to do to really have this done? To really complete this goal and be able to check it off of my list. So tonight we should really be focused on writing your broad goal or intention. And what I'll be doing when we're done here is what I usually do is I do free writing where I just allow myself to just write. And I write as much as I want. It's like, okay, what around my philosophy or being the expert or being the teacher, what are the goals or what would I want to do? What would I want it to look like? So it's usually I start with like the vision. So it's free writing of the vision. And so I will describe what it looks like to be in that place, what it feels like, what that means. And so then once I have that free writing, then I will summarize it. So where this free writing could be as long as you want it to be, when I summarize it, I try to keep it to a paragraph. And then I try and condense it even more. And I try and condense it into like 1 to 2 sentences. And then I will condense it again down to like 1 to 3 words. I like to do that because then it really it it's basically like taking the vibration, and instead of it being like a big huge sheet, you're condensing it down to be an arrow. So you're more likely to hit the target with an arrow than a sheet. Like you could get the sheet over the target, but is it really going to have an impact? Not like an arrow. And so then I try and do this like around this peak energy of the new moon, and then I spend the 9 months. Like then what I'll do is I'll take like those 1 to 3 words, and I'll throw in some other techniques. Like I'll do my 369 journaling, so that I can really tap into that vibration. Um, and remember, the 369 journaling is, it would be where you're writing these 1 to 3 words 3 times a day, like in the morning, 6 times a day in the afternoon, and then 9 times a day at night. And what this does, it helps you to tap into that energy, but it also draws it in. So you're making it really big energy. And then when you're working with bigger energy, then it's easier to do the planning. It's easier to be able to really plan and see what really are the steps that I need to take. What are the things I need to do? Because in this new moon energy, we're just planning. We're just planning, we're visualizing, we're learning what is this intention, what is this vibration of this intentional coming, working with the moon energy. So this is what I will be doing. Yeah, Tesla's number. Exactly. Exactly. So that 369 technique, um, when I talk every month about the 9 cycles that we have, where we can use the 9 cycles every month to build up the energy so that we have more energy to use towards really anything that we're doing in that month. This 369 technique does the same thing, but it's exponential. It builds up the energy much faster and more energy that can be used. So, like using this 369 journaling technique can be really helpful in building out your visions, and taking your big ideas and getting the details. I really like it. 369 feels good. Okay. I think I'm sufficiently tired. um, I was looking here. We did. Oh no, we did pretty good. We did pretty good. So, with your numbers, yeah, because all of that plus like whatever that crazy energy that came in and had me feeling like I was on a boat, and then having Judy's dog be trying to talk to me. Yeah, I'm tired. So, what I'm going to do, I believe these numbers were for you, Judy, and for Cinnamon Jupiter. So, I will be back tomorrow. And so, and I no, don't ask me what time, because I don't know. um, Hopefully earlier in the day, like late afternoon. It won't be. I know it won't be as late as tonight unless somebody decides to go live, and I'm waiting till after them. But usually it's earlier in the evening or afternoon. But what we can do is we'll move your numbers to tomorrow. And if you're not there, Judy and Cinnamon Jupiter, like if you can't make it, then I will save them for next Friday. And because I will be here next Friday, which is the 26th after Christmas, because I want to know what everybody got anyway. So we'll move it to tomorrow or next Friday. And we will be back tomorrow. Primarily on Saturdays, we talk about hip hop. We've had lots of happenings in hip hop this week. And so it'll be a good time. Okay, great. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. Yeah. We pulled in some really good vibrations and energy today. We got some really good messages. So thank you so much for being here. I'm sure I will see you all around, if not tomorrow. Um, I will be back tomorrow and I will see you then. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.